Notice this, you can barely throw a stone anymore without hitting a dispensary. Recreational marijuana became legal in California in 2016. Since then, the pot business in the state has been booming. But how safe is the pot? Turns out smoking anything is a health risk. Healthy people who regularly smoke marijuana or consume THC-laced edibles, according to a recent study, showed signs of early cardiovascular disease similar to tobacco smokers. What's most surprising, according to this, edibles could even be worse for your heart. They reduce vascular function by 56%. Our contributors on this Friday, the married couple of Doug and Jamie Baker. Jamie, does this change your opinion about cannabis?
Not at all. I mean, if somebody was idiotic enough to give me edibles one time and it gave me the worst experience of my life, I will never do that again. And, you know, it doesn't change my opinion. Nope.
Wait a minute. First of all, somebody gave you edibles. Okay. Now, were you the kind of person that took an edible and said, I don't feel anything? I mean, I don't really experience anything. So you took another one? Is that what you did?
First of all, I was with Doug. Doug and I both took it. I had not eaten anything. I had just finished golf, and I had a glass of wine. So yeah, I was stupid, but the guy who gave it to me was even stupider.
Okay, well, how was your experience with the edible, Doug?
Well, in fairness, we were told they were just jelly beans. We didn't know they were marijuana edibles, and we ate the hell out of them. And I remember being driven home that night, and Jamie went to sleep on the garage floor, and I managed to get in the house somehow. And it was a terrible evening, and we'll never do that again. And does this change my opinion about? It does, actually, a little bit. I don't use the stuff. I know Jamie doesn't, because if she did, she'd be calm. That doesn't happen. But I'm very tolerant of others that use it.
Right.
But now I'm going to be a little less tolerant, because it's scary. It's a little scary substance.
Listen, Jamie. Now the truth comes out. Now we understand what happened to you. You thought they were jelly beans. You started gobbling them down. Then you drank wine. Jamie, that's on you.
I had already had wine. The wine, there's the truth. It wasn't jelly beans. It was gummy bears, he said. I said, I love gummy bears. Let me have them. Boy, oh, never again.
Yeah, well, no, that makes sense. You ever heard a parent call out to their kid, and the name that comes out of their mouth makes you think that kid's getting beat up at school a lot? In Japan, the trend of trendy baby names is on the rise, and the government is cracking down. These so-called kira names, which means sparkly or shiny, will now be limited to stop parents from giving their babies names pronounced in unconventional ways. In Japan, writing characters can be pronounced 10 different ways, and that's what the government is upset about. All right, Doug, I'll start with you. What is the sparkliest name you've heard a kid called here in America?
I have to go back a lot of years for this, but remember Frank Zappa, his daughter, Moon Unit Zappa, his son, Dweezil, don't get, and then, of course, there's Apple Pathro. I think those started the trend of naming your children unusual names or pronouncing a common name in a different manner.
Jamie, you have any sparkly names you've heard?
You know, I ran a business in Inglewood for 25 years. I've heard all kinds of funky names, but Pikachu? That's what I call my little tofu, little male dogs, Dingo Lingo Pikachu. What the heck are you thinking? But good for Japan for, you know, cracking down on this one.
What were some of those names you heard while you were running that business? You got one?
Well, I met a girl named Laprelle because her mom was pregnant, going down the grocery store in the shampoo section. She saw Prel and thought, oh, L-E, Laprelle, that sounds good. And I knew a girl named Genevieve, but she wanted to be called Genevieve. I don't know.
All right, some people are afraid these names invite harassment. Jamie, do they invite harassment?
Well, just let's ask Northwest what she's gonna be. I don't know. You know, yeah, you're asking for it. It tells the parents how intelligent they are.
Doug, do these names invite harassment?
Name your child Pooh? What do you think is going to happen?
Good point.